Hey guys, me Wobby here, and today I have another creepypasta narration for you. Today, we're going to be narrating SpongeBob SquarePants, The Starving. So yeah, this is a decently well-known creepypasta. Well, okay, I'm not going to spoil too much, because for the review, I have something to say about the story. But anyways, yeah, enough getting off topic, so yeah. Another SpongeBob story, yes. A lot of these ones I do are SpongeBob ones, but anyways, we're wasting time. So yeah, sit back and relax as I read to you SpongeBob SquarePants, The Starving. On the 28th of May, 2004, children were fresh out of school and on summer break. Many of the said children were watching Nickelodeon when a network intrusion was detected at 8:36 p.m. UTC at Nickelodeon's headquarters. The events which transpired in said hijacking were never caught on any public-owned VCR recordings, except for one known example kept highly secured in an unknown top-secret FBI archive. It is mentioned that in released FBI reports that many children committed suicide on the spot upon the hijacking's conclusion. A small percentage entered a traumatic catatonic state, and some surviving viewers of the incident went on to end their lives decades later. The few survivors that still live have mostly repressed the events that had transpired that evening in 2004, and if they do, it's not much. All that is known is that the hijacking led to the airing of a lost episode of SpongeBob, simply titled The Starving. The perpetrator of the hijacking was never identified, but it is suspected that a disgruntled ex-employee was behind the event. That was taken from a transcript of lostepisodes.com, where users found a SpongeBob lost episode. The name of the lost episode is The Starving. Upon viewing, it starts with the title card along with no credits. It then transitions to Squidward's house, where there was no visible dialogue, only images and jump scares. Squidward was seen saying, what you're about to hear is entirely Squidward's dialogue. Boy, I'm starving. Holy Neptune. I haven't been this hungry in my miserable life. No use in complaining at this point. Might as well pass the time rehearsing. Oh, what the crap? This has SpongeBob written all over it. This is low even for him. Oh well, I'll yell at him later. Time to play. At this point, you'd hear SpongeBob say, "Hey, Squidward!" Squidward then says, "Oh, for the love of what?" "Nothing," SpongeBob said. "Leave me alone and don't ever come in again," Squidward shouted. "Oh, Neptune, I'm so hungry, it's driving me nuts. What's going on?" Squidward said. "Oh, I'm losing consciousness." By this point, this is where things get unsettling. When Squidward waked up, he was in the middle of darkness with Mr. Krabs shown. Mr. Krabs only said, "You're a starving us, boy. You must eat them all. You will die otherwise." Finally, Squidward acknowledged he needs to eat. This blue figure is what people see replacing Squidward's face. At this point, Squidward isn't Squidward anymore. By this point, people called him the Starver. It shows the blue exterior of SpongeBob's house and Squidward's own house, now consumed with gluttony to eat. As SpongeBob waked up, he's suddenly taken by Squidward as the copped fish said, "There, Neptune." The infamous jump scare was shown, Squidward's face destroyed, eating SpongeBob with a distorted buzzing noise, ending the episode with an FBI warning. A YouTube user, Suicide Season, uploaded the episode on July 3rd of this year. Citing the website, it was theorized the episode was found in an abandoned store that used to be a location for Walmart. Who knows the original findings of the episode? All we know is that the internet is making SpongeBob disturbing. Well, that was, I guess, something. Okay, well, it's not really that original considering the fact that I believe cable intrusions, or signal intrusions, whatever you want to call them, are a pretty big trend in the lost episode of creepypasta, fan base, but, it is what it is. So my thoughts on the story? It was okay. Now, of course, I guess the whole concept of the episode, of course, the starving, being an episode where Squidward is really, really hungry and, has something to eat and winds up eating SpongeBob, I guess is interesting to say the least. And it's something that I guess could actually make for a pretty good episode of okay, well, not maybe minus Squidward eating SpongeBob, but, some maybe episode where Bikini Bottom, runs out of food or something. That could make for something interesting, Anyway, aside from that, now I want to get into the images into it. Which the images for, the title card and all that were actually made pretty well. Now, I believe there are actually more images, but I can't really find them. I only found them on the formidable robot thing, and I couldn't really be asked to, try and find them. So I only could include the 3 which are included on the story page. But, yeah, So the images were honestly pretty decently made, if you ask me. And yeah, the idea of Squid returning to like this crazy monster is pretty creepy to an extent, I shall say. Now, there are a few gripes I have this story, which I'll get to in a bit. I mean, not mainly just one big gripe, but still. Now, of course, the whole FBI thing, which I guess it does seem believable that, you know, the FBI would wind up shutting something like this down. But, you know, I digress. So, yeah, okay, this review has been really strange so far. But, you know, so, yeah, the idea of, like, a signal intrusion like this happening does seem believable to an extent, which I do believe. Disney Jr., okay, no, that's random, but Disney Jr. actually did get a signal intrusion, like, got hijacked many years ago, and they showed some, not family-friendly stuff, let's just say. But still, okay, what the hell was that? Now, there is one big main gripe I have with this story. One, which really, and I mean really brings it down. You know what that is? The whole mentioning of, oh, many children committed suicide after watching it. Why? Why the hell would you include something like that in a creepypasta like this? Now, of course, it's a creepypasta, I get it. But, like, when you're having, like, a story like this, it has to be somewhat believable. Like, I'm sorry, why would kids kill themselves because they saw a spooky episode of SpongeBob? Okay, I understand some kids are quite overdramatic, like, you know, especially the kids who run away from home when they, like, have fights with their parents and all that. But still, that is just utterly ridiculous. Like, why would you? Not to mention how the guy they even put, oh, some kids were alright, but after decades they committed suicide. Like, bro, I'm sorry, that is just so silly. Like, of course, I know I should really say this more in these reviews, but no offense to the authors. I'm really not criticizing the authors as people. I'm just criticizing their stories. These authors, I do hope that they learn and write better stories in the future. But still, so, of course, I guess I really technically should say this more in these videos, but if you are watching this and you do agree with me, please don't, like, go harass the author. Like, that's kind of stuff just all around not cool, and just don't do that, okay? But still, I'm just criticizing. So, again, back on topic, like, I'm sorry, that is just ridiculous. Now, DIZZYGAMER is the guy who made this story. I read his other one, the Rugrats one, the classic incident, Rugrats classic, which I gave that, like, a 6 out of 10, I believe. Which, it was okay, I guess. It was quite good, but not really amazing. But still, this is just, again, utterly ridiculous. Like, why? Why would kids... I believe there's actually a Family Guy creepypasta which did the same thing. Like, which I may be narrating that. It's called, like, Family Guy the Marathon of 2016 or something like that. Basically, like, Adult Swim as a Family Guy marathon, how that gets hacked, and hijacker airs some pretty spoopy stuff. And people kill themselves, or hell, kill others, because... which is ridiculous, but anyway, I might narrate that someday, we'll see, but still, this is just, overall, really just ridiculous, if you ask me. Now, one minor gripe I have with this story is the intro not being there and the credits not being there, which, I'll admit, really, it's not that deep, and I really could just be leaving this out, but still, it's just something I would maybe kind of not do in the creepypasta, like, because I don't really like the whole cliche of different intros, bloody everywhere, and credits are different, which is something I kind of talked about in my creepypasta of, you know, Grandma's Cookies. But still, I guess, it's not really that deep, but something which I do feel could have maybe been left out of it. But I guess it doesn't really bring the story down that much, you know. Now, my final thoughts on the story. The story was decent at best. It had an interesting concept and it had a lot of potential. However, that whole one big gigantic cliche about children killing themselves really, and I mean really, brought the story down. So overall, my final rating on the story would have to be a 5 out of 10. It wasn't terrible, however, some stuff really, and I mean really, could have been improved, or just outright not even included at all. So anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Comment passion fruit if you made it this far, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.